Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Ingo and I'm the director of abcLingos. Today I'm going to show you how to work with an interactive vocabulary trainer. This will help you to improve your knowledge of German vocabulary. This video tutorial is for people who have purchased a license for the interactive vocabulary training databases for edXL German GCSE 2012 or AQA German GCSE 2014 from www.abc-lingos.eu.pn. If that is not you, then please go to that website, click on Resources or German Tutoring tab, and have a look at the great value products and services we offer to help you improve your German GCSE and A-level results. Okay, so once you have installed the software and vocabulary database files on your computer, you are ready to go. How to install them is described in the file you purchased together with the vocabulary database files. You can access the vocabulary trainer in two ways. Firstly, as a default, an icon is placed on your desktop during the installation process. So go onto your desktop and double click on the blue and red book icon here. This opens a window and you simply select Browse and OK, and that opens a Windows Explorer window, and you select the appropriate folder. In this case it's edXL. I'll choose edXL GCSE German 2012, and within that you get a number of different databases. So you select, for example, question words and then click OK, and that opens the interactive vocabulary trainer. Once you've worked with this a few times, there's actually an easier way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this again, and I'm going to go to the main Windows button in the bottom left corner, click on Start, hover over the blue and red book here, and then I select something from the list that is already there from recent databases. So I select Future Education and Work. And the window opens again here for us. Okay, so let me introduce to the look of this interactive vocabulary trainer and how it works. At the top here, it tells you the name of the database you're currently working in. So currently you want to test everything around education and work. You've got a menu bar, traditional menu bar with words here, and there's several sub-menus there. Also very helpful, the help button. Underneath that you get a menu bar with symbols, and these symbols will give you faster and quicker access to some of the commands. So once you know your way around it, I recommend you use the symbols. And then you got the bulk of the actual database, and the structure is in the following way. Let's take the second word here. First of all, you got the German word, in this case with the definitive article, because that's important for the gender. So das Betriebspraktikum, in brackets here, you got a short note. So in this case, it tells you it's a noun. And then there is the English translation, work experience. And in this database, you will find all the words as they are listed in the latest syllabus, in this case the edXL syllabus, under that category heading, Future Education and Work. So there's lots and lots of words here. At the very bottom of the screen here, it tells you it's a database which translates from German into English and from English into German, or Deutsch und Englisch. It contains 117 words, and so far you learn 0%, and that will change. More on that later. Also, what we showed, there's a scroll bar on the right hand side to go to the top, go to the bottom, and sometimes you may want to use the scroll bar to scroll from the left to the right. Just to say that every database has one reference to the copyright information, and when that pops up as a question, all you need to do is simply type in 1 and OK, and that copyright reminder will go away. Right, okay, now it's time to do some testing, to do some learning. So the first very simple thing would simply to read through this database and commit it to memory. So besetzt means occupied, work experience means das Betriebspraktikum, subject means das Fach, and so on. But this software can do much, much more. So if you want to really test your vocabulary, click on this test symbol here. And I recommend that you test into the foreign language. That means you will be prompted with an English word and you have to answer with the German word. So I'll select that and then it jumps straight into testing. So the first question is school report, and it tells you it's a noun. So I'll know that means das Zeugnis, and it is important that you do the correct spelling. And you can either press the enter button here by clicking on it, but what I found is much faster. Simply press the return key on your keyboard. That's correct. And you get immediate feedback. It's flagged up in blue here. You get the blue tick, and you also get the verbal message here, right. And then you can either click on continue, or again, much simpler, press the return key on your keyboard. And here's the next word that is being tested. Engineer. Der Ingenieur. Now, I never quite know how to spell that. Let's see if I spell that correctly. Press enter on your keyboard. Yes, I have spelled it correctly. And just one more. Subject. Okay. Das Unterrichtsfach. Let's see if it's das Unterrichtsfach, because subject could mean that das Unterrichtsfach. Oh, and we click enter. Oh, we're simply das Fach. Oh, well, so I got that slightly wrong. Get immediate feedback. Actually, it's the simple word, just das Fach. Get the X, and you get wrong. Okay. Well, we've done a few of those, but maybe you want something slightly simpler to start with. So we'll just stop this for now. You say test, and then stop testing from the sub-menu, and it goes back to the list. And the list has now changed. Two things have changed. On the list here, the words that you were asked and you answered correctly are in grey font, and the words that you still need to learn are highlighted and stand out in black font in bold. And the other thing that has changed is the figures down here have changed. So so far you've learned 2% of the total vocabulary list. So you learned 2% out of 117. So that's called the statistics. If you want to know a little bit more about the statistics, you go onto the test button and click statistics. And there it tells you, okay, there's 117 words, you've done 2, your progress is 2%, and you can just click OK, or you can also look at your success rate. So from the words you were asked, how many did you answer correctly? 2 out of 3, 67%. So for now, we'll just say OK. But I said maybe you want something slightly easier. So instead of testing a single word, you can actually test multiple choice words. So now you've got the English prompt, the English question, the word programmer, and you can choose. Does that mean das Stellenangebot, die Ausbildung, die Sprache, der Programmierer, oder das Fach? Well, it's one of those friendly words where it's simple. Friend, so yes, it is indeed der Programmierer. You get the blue tick, blue highlight, and right. Press return, and job. Job, does it mean die Stelle, der Briefkastenfeuerwehrmann? And the nice thing about this multiple choice is there's no typing involved, so you can just and you see other words which are spelled correctly, so it's like a passive way of learning them. So I'll just randomly say, I think job, I have no clue what job means, so I just click on der Elektriker, which means the electrician, by the way. So I click on that. No, that's wrong, X, wrong, and it tells you what the correct answer is. So job means die Stelle. And okay, so just to quickly demonstrate that, this is one way of helping you. This is one way of making the learning different and easier. And we're gonna stop the testing again and go back to the single word learning. To do that, it looks like I need to turn this multiple choice off. So I click on the multiple choice symbol and it's turned off. And now I'll show you another way where you can get a bit of help. So if the prompt is occupied, and you don't know what that means, it could mean beschäftigt, or well, the toilet would be besetzt, but you're not quite sure. So instead of typing, you can ask this helping hand here. So by clicking on that, you get a hint, and you can also press Control H. So hint would be, yeah, B. Well, you knew that. There's something BE, but what's the? So it tells you, it's not. Oh, you still don't know. It could be beschäftigt or besetzt. So let's see the next letter. It's busy. So it must be T, and you just ZT, besetzt. You simply finish the word by typing yourself. Click return. Yeah, the handy hand has helped you. You got the word right. Let's do another one. Manager. Oh, now you don't know whether it's der, die, or das. So let's say, okay, I want some help. It's der manager. Okay, and then it must be the same word as in English. It must be der manager. Yeah, that was correct. And one last one. Terms of employment. Ooh, what's that? I can't think of, how it's like a long word in German. How does it start? How do you put it together? Let's start with this. Oh, of course. Oh, it's der. Yes. Oh, hang on a second. Der. Yeah, but what's next? Oh, no, it's not D. What is it? Oh, D. It's something different than what I thought it was. Die, now I know. It's something with Arbeit. Die Arbeitsbedingungen. That must be that. Yeah, and that's correct. Wonderful. Okay, so you see, that's quite straightforward. Let's stop the test here and I'll show you some other things. Okay, just to point out that at the bottom of this window, the statistics have changed, which means you have now successfully learned 5% of this database. And in order not to get the same questions asked next time that you already answered correctly, you now need to save your the words you've learned. So you need to save this database and just simply click on the Save button. So if you are working on this software at home and only you access the database, which means you can now close it, and when you come back, it opens back up and it remembers that you've already learned 5% and it's going to ask you, test you the other 95%. But let's say you are working on a shared computer, maybe at school or with a classmate or something like that. You can actually create a new database file. So by going to File, Save As, and again, it opens Windows Explorer. And now you say, okay, I want to save this under a specific name. And the best thing is probably to use your name. So I just use Ingo Schüder. And now you save it. Future Education and Work, abcLingos at Ingo Schüder. And the next time you open that specific database, it's the one you can continue working on. If, however, you open a database and somebody else has used it, or if you want to start again from scratch, you can also go to Test, Statistics, and you can reset the statistics. So that it's like nobody's ever learned anything, nobody's ever been asked a question. Reset the statistics, and now this goes back to 0%, and all the 117 words in that database will be asked again. So if you, for example, you've learned it once, but you want to go over all the vocabulary again, you reset it to 0, and that's it. But for now, we've done enough. So we're just going to say, we're going to exit this. Yeah, you can say, yes, I want to save the changes. And that's it for now. You've learned that. And that's really it. You can either open another vocabulary database, or as I've just done, you can close it. Okay, so that's the basics. There are a few more things you can do, such as to sort the words in the order, to add new words, to edit words. If you're working on a school computer, you should really ask your teacher before you do any of that. So I won't go into detail now, but just to say, in the instructions note that you get when you purchase the product, there's more information about that. Okay, so that's really the end of the tutorial. Just a final note to make sure that you only work with a legally obtained license copy. As I said before, You can get more information on this and other products and services at www.abcLingos.eu.pn. There is a contact form there, so feel free to contact me to ask questions or to order your copy of the German GCSE vocabulary trainer. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Tschüss and goodbye.